Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and cyborgs. I am Zach Friedman of Voidstar Lab, the mercenary hardware hacker agency, and you're in my head. This is episode 0.75 of In My Head, in the week following CES. Still going through my stuff, and I found something which you Arduino nerds in the audience might find interesting, which is this. I'm going to be unboxing this. This is a whole box full of unreleased hardware from a whole bunch of interesting folks. I didn't realize this was one of the boxes of hardware that they gave us for the AT&T Developer Summit Hackathon. I've never worked with any of the things contained within here so far, so I didn't really know what I was looking at. But as it turns out, everything in here was unreleased. That's right. They were giving us an entire box full of unreleased, barely tested hardware to use during a hackathon. Amazingly, we managed to make everything work. So without further ado, let's get inside. Just real quick before we open it up, this is from Multi-Tech Systems. This is an M2M/M2X starter kit. So this is a kit for creating connected devices, but special ones. These are connected devices that are connected through the cell network, not through Wi-Fi, and communicate to AT&T's M2M or M2X network. That's like kind of an industrial Internet of Things architecture. It says very clearly here, test units not for sale. I'm not even sure who would want to buy something like this, considering they don't even know it exists. But yeah, if you look this up, we'll get to what these are in a second. Yeah, so this is untested. I mean, this is tested, but it's unreleased hardware. What's interesting is Multi-Tech is an M2M parts and service provider. So they don't really do consumer or hobbyist-oriented stuff. This is kind of a first for them. So let's take a look what's inside. Got our anti-static packing tape here, all over a non-anti-static box, which is kind of weird. All right, so up on top we have a bundle of accessories. Very utilitarian, presenting the accessories first. Me gusta. Whoops. Mini USB cable, not micro. Where is it? Power brick with, of course, our little international two-pronged adapter. What's odd about this particular power brick is its rating. I'm not sure you can see it here, but this is rated for 5 volts at 2.6 amps. This is actually massively heavy. It's got a huge transformer in it. Cell phone. For those of you who haven't really worked with it before, cell data consumes massive amounts of massive amounts of power, upwards of 2 amps, being consumed by the circuit while it's broadcasting. So you need to power it off slightly stronger stuff than a USB port. So that's what we've got here. Yeah, other accessories include this hilariously sized antenna, which we'll get to in a sec. So let's go back to our box and pull out this little divider here, and the box is empty. Lol JK. Everything is plastered to the bottom of the divider. So I originally thought they were going to give us an Arduino, with probably like this, the C3G shield, but they didn't. In retrospect, I didn't really think too hard about this, but it turns out nothing within this packet has been released to market yet. First off, we have a SIM card. The actual SIM has already been punched out of this. This is interesting because this is not a commercially available. I mean, this is not a commercially available SIM card. This particular SIM is for data-only applications. These particular ones are tied. All of them from the hackathon were tied to one Verizon account, which was shut down immediately after AT&T account that was shut down immediately following the hackathon. So none of these SIM cards will work anymore. And I've tried them with SIM cards that are still functional, but simply don't have service anymore. And I believe they actually revoked this the account themselves. I think the EDIDs are bad, but I need to actually speak to more people about it. So, anyways, for some reason they decided to give this to me pre-assembled. But let's take a look at what we got here. First off, we have our SIM card. Right, this is a 3G shield. Oops. goes right here. They look very similar. Or antenna, of course, or hilariously sized antenna screws on right about here, and there we go. So first thing, you know, like we've got this is the right way. Yep, we've got a 3G shield on an embed. This is actually an embed. It's got the Altoids tin form factor. But what I realized first was that I couldn't find much data on this shield. And the second thing is, no one is talking about this particular board, except in press releases. So I realized that neither of these have actually been released so far. This is called the socket modem shield. This is the Multitech product. This board right here is called the socket modem, which, as far as I can tell, is only available to, like, you know, real well connected design engineers. It has approximately 250 AT commands. I wish I were kidding here. You know, it's usable over serial and all that. You know, you can transmit data at a fairly high rate. It's actually a pretty high-end module. It actually has USB support and all kinds of other stuff built straight into it. It's a fairly high-end modem. It's soldered directly onto the shield. Yeah, it's got some various jumpers on it that control the serial stuff. But it's soldered directly onto the shield, and the shield is kind of odd, right? It works with Arduino form factors, although the libraries have only been written for mbed. But if you look under here, it's almost impossible to see. But there's actually oh wait, hang on a sec. It's here, yeah. It's very hard to see. You can see the very edges of the pads right there. This thing could, this same shield, this could be removed, and the RN41, was roving networks, now is microchip Wi-Fi module could be placed there instead, which I thought was kind of RN41. I don't remember. It's a Wi-Fi. Yeah, it could be placed there instead, which is kind of interesting. We've got our antenna. We've got our antenna mount. This is just a bracket, and we've got our power. The modem itself. It's not actually a 3G. It's an HSPA modem, but I believe that you could, in theory, pull out the module and solder in different ones. Yeah, this is not something that's easy for a consumer to get, and I have like 3 of them. The SIM card is particularly valuable. Unfortunately, I think it's been deactivated, but it's an M2M SIM card. Which makes it quite an interesting product. What's going on here? Oh, this is my 1 o'clock alarm. I don't know why I set one for 1 o'clock. Now let's move on to the embed. This one is very cool because this is an unreleased embed. This is made with a Freescale micro. You see it's got Freescale branding all over the place. It's got a very powerful Freescale. It's a Cortex M0. It has 2 USB ports. One of them is for programming. The other is undocumented. If you've never used embed before, you really should try it. It's really weird. You use this online IDE and compiler. When you compile it, it downloads a file, and you take the file and you plug this in. It looks like a flash drive. When you transfer that file to the flash drive, it reboots and burns the firmware onto itself. It's very weird. If you've never used an embed before, I highly recommend it. Anyways, this one is using the double Arduino form factor that we've seen in the what the hell is it called? The ChipKit Uno 32. It's got like it's compatible with Arduino Uno layout, but all these headers are double stacked, so you get extra I/O pins. This thing actually is, I believe, 84 I/O pins, I think, although most of them aren't broken out. Onboard peripherals are actually very cool. We have capacitive touch sensing strip. We have 2 clicky buttons. We have a 4-digit 7-segment LCD. I don't believe this is backlit. We have a Philips light sensor. We have a 3-axis accelerometer, and it has a real-time clock. You can see, you can just stick a battery right there, and we use things onboard RTC. The library is written for almost all of this stuff, which is actually pretty impressive for a pre-release product. Yeah. All in all, like the DX is fine. It's an embed. It's very highly abstracted. The online IDE is it's slow. Your build compile test cycle is quite slow, but it works. I mean, this thing is very powerful. It's very fast. Lots of onboard peripherals. Works with Arduino shields fine. I mean, similar voltage, similar electrical characteristics as an Arduino. all in all, a very cool piece of unreleased hardware. I don't know when this thing is coming out. Oh, did I mention the Altoids tin? Ah, jeez. It's fine. I got a few of these. Yeah, it fits. It fits within Altoids tin almost perfectly, which is kind of a weird little side feature. This one has rubber feet pre-installed on it. This QR code, for those of you curious, is a broken link. Freescale has not, in fact, put up the docs on their own site yet, which made developing for a little tricky, especially because I never used Mbed. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed taking a look at my unreleased hardware. Oh, together, when all this was snapped together, it created, basically it was like a turnkey M2M or basically a turnkey M2M or M2X device. Effectively, you take this thing straight out of the box, plug it in, apply the power here, of course, get on the Mbed online compiler, and it's like a 3G enabled data collection beacon, which was actually pretty cool. The SIM's not working, so I'm gonna have to go. I went to a Verizon store and said, "Hey guys, can you sell me an M2M or M2X only SIM?" And they looked at me like I was a Martian. So I'm gonna have to get creative. Anyways, thanks for getting inside my head. I hope you liked my unreleased hardware. If you have any ideas for a project that I should do with this, leave a comment or get in touch with me on any social media network. I am Zach Friedman on everything. That's Zach with a K, Friedman with 2 E's. I especially use Twitter and Google+. If you have an interesting idea that can only be built in hardware, give my agency a call. Just reach out. We're voidstarlab.com. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. Enjoy my unreleased hardware, and I will see you, hopefully with proper documentation, in the future.